We have a fascinating piece of Canadiana to show you today. It's a guitar nicknamed Voyageur, and it's got quite the story. Joey Taylor is the man who came up with the concept for this guitar, and he's here to tell us all about it. Welcome.
Thanks, Nancy.
So first, tell the story. What is so unique about this guitar?
This guitar is crafted from 63 different pieces of history and heritage from communities and cultures and characters from all across Canada, every province and territory.
Okay, so what sort of things? Point out some.
Well, just for an example, the entire top of this guitar is made from the only piece of wood ever taken from the legendary golden spruce of Haida Gwaii, a sacred tree that was cut down by a madman in 1997. There's four pieces there. The first of them is Paul Henderson's stick, the top of Paul Henderson's stick from the 1972 Canada-Russia series.
Very cool.
Just inside the sound hole here, Pierre Trudeau's canoe paddle, little piece of Maurice Richard's 1955-56 Stanley Cup ring there in the 9th fret.
How'd you get that?
A friend of mine bought it at auction when the Richard family was raising some cash from memorabilia, and I asked him for a tiny bit of it, and he let me have it. Yeah.
So what else? It's fascinating, all this stuff.
Oh, that's a seat from Massey Hall there, the headstock.
Lucy
Maud Montgomery's house is in there, Nancy Green's ski. The back and sides are most of that beautiful spalted oak you see there is actually from the Convent of the Grey Nuns, the oldest building in Winnipeg, where Louis Riel went to school for a little while after he got back from Montreal.
Wow.
But there's a couple of very thin little strips of blonde wood you can see in there if you look closely. Those are from a bagel shiva from the Fairmont Bagel Bakery in Montreal. The deck of the Blue Nose 2 are those two dark pieces there.
Wow.
And so on and so on. And then of course there's a shoulder tile from the Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry that adorns the strap. There's some more pieces in the case, so that brings it up to about 68 pieces in total. Yeah.
So how did you come up with this idea? Why did you want to do this?
Well, you know, back when there was a referendum about to hit the province of Quebec in 1995, and the question of separation and Canadian unity was very much in people's minds, it occurred to me that there was the symbols that we rely on in Canada to talk about who we are, you know, you saw them at the Olympics, right? Beavers, loons, you know, Mounties, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I have nothing against any of those things. It's just that they don't really tell the story of who we are, and we don't tell the story of who we are very well to each other.
And we've got some great stories.
We got fantastic stories. John Ware, the first black cowboy in Alberta, is basically accredited with starting the whole ranching business in Alberta. That's from his cabin.
Right.
You know, that's a story that most people don't know in this country. And so I wanted to create a symbol that would be more engaging, more inclusive, and that would literally touch people in every community across this country. And of course, apart from the guitar doing that as an object in itself, it does it through music, because every time musicians play it, they add a layer of story.
And we have some great pictures of some of the famous people who've had their hands on this thing and played it. There's Kanon.
There's Kanon. That was taken Canada Day 2006, the day this guitar debuted on Parliament Hill. There's our defense minister, Peter MacKay, rocking out.
Looking very cool.
Yeah. But we've now done about 50,000 portraits of about 8,000 different people. These are just three regular folks.
Everyday Canadians.
Yeah. And we do those for free at festivals, free to the public anyway, at festivals and events across
Canadian
the country.
Mint has even made a special coin about this guitar. It looks like a guitar pick.
That was amazing. Totally shocked me. I had no idea that was happening.
So people are going to want to see this thing, and you travel all over the country with it. Where are you going, and how do people see you?
Well, we try to travel across the country, and that all depends on the invitations. We did Canada Day again. We were at the Mariposa Festival this past weekend in Orillia. We're doing the Seashelt Writers Festival in BC in August, but other than that, we're really short on appearances this summer for festivals. But we also do school things, motivational or corporate engagements. So we would love to come back to Kitchener-Waterloo, because there's a very, very special connection in this guitar, which was that I was abandoned by every single cultural agency in trying to get this project done. There is no government support for this project, and if it hadn't been for Mike Lazaridis stepping up and Air Canada helping me out with flights and making sure the guitar stays safe, this guitar, A, would not have been built, and B, would not make its way across the country. So we really need people to invite us, and we'd love to build an event in Kitchener-Waterloo around education, around music, and around celebrating the community here.
Okay. So if people go to your website, which is www.6stringnation.com, they can find out where you're going to be and
and
Try
write
and
to
get you
me.
here.
All the contact links there, come
Okay.
right to me.
Just before we go, I want to show that case one more time because there's a piece of Don Cherry's pants in there.
That's right, Don Cherry's pants, Pierre Burton's bow
Look at
tie. You've got a little piece of canvas from the very first Stratford Festival tent from 1953.
Wow, local connection.
All kinds of stuff. Yeah, and a doily from Stephen Leacock's house in Aurelia.
Very cool. All right, well, I hope you come back because it's fascinating.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
All right, time for a break. We're coming back with sports, though, and 3 more University of Waterloo football players find a new home.